We are live!
Good evening, y'all.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Friendly Fire Fridays installment number 7.
Number 7 already, right?
Lucky for some, as some would say.
Yeah, lucky number 7. We, as you can see, we switched it around.
Yeah, I don't know if the people know, but normally I'm on his side and you're on my side.
Yeah, so
And today we switched.
So now I'm part of the Alliance Armory and he's the Alliance Open guy.
Yeah, so now I'm the guy who has to, talk about everything.
Yeah,
And I can't just nod anymore and pretend like I know whatever he's saying.
yeah. So
I'm screwed,
and now
basically, in a
I'm gonna do that.
nutshell.
I'm just basically gonna sit here.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about stuff I know then. I'm not sure we want. Yeah. That's not much. No,
Okay.
I don't know stuff.
So Stefan, what do we have in store today
Yes,
for the guys?
I have a list here. So we've got our little intro talk, which is what we're doing now. And after that, we'll be talking about events and tickets. And also, on top of the list, CJ forced me to put the pre-order. My little note is flying away because of the ventilator. The pre-order. This is the last day for the pre-order.
Yep. We had 2 weeks of pre-orders. We had a huge amount of people watching the site, so we're very happy with that. We had a lot of people buying our new Necron and Eldari set actually. There are a few guys who buy the new factory kits. So all in all, we're very happy.
Yeah.
We can give away a lot of t-shirts because when you spend over 100 euros, you can get one. We'll contact you and you can get a t-shirt for free.
For free?
For free, yeah. That sounds very Dutch, isn't it? For free.
Yes, for free. That's nice. I'll have some.
So we're very happy to see a lot of people willing to do to get our terrain on their tables. So,
Okay.
And as some of you may know, in September and October and November we have a lot of events, meaning we have to build a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that we're not building it for nothing, right? Because other people like it as well. So we actually have a terrain day in 2 days. Which
Yeah,
will be
Sunday.
mainly focusing on the 9th age, but we'll probably do some 40k as well. And that means that those tables will get a lot of playtime.
Yeah, we've already actually been building a few things today, right? Maybe you can get the little. Yeah, they can't see it. Well, you can see it a little bit. Why don't you just get the little trees? 'Cause, I mean, the weather is already tropical, so why not build some tropical trees?
Some happy trees.
Some happy trees, just to at least feel like you're on the beach, because we're far from a beach.
And we actually we talked with our one of our main sponsors, Table of Kingdoms, and he actually gave us a way to get this epic terrain from
Yeah,
Guild
just
Wars
put it a
9.
little bit. Why don't you put it a little bit close to the?
Little bit closer.
So this is just a piece. So this is a piece. It comes like that.
Yeah, so I just sprayed it a little bit over here, so that it actually matches the mat we have.
Yes.
It was a little darker than you see on the picture, but with just a little spray of, I think we use ivory or something like the color. It's like this. It's perfect.
However, it comes painted, right?
Yeah. So if you see this one, this has the least amount of paint next to it, so it actually comes in this color.
It's very deserty.
Yeah, it's very deserty.
But it's cool though, because it comes ready to play, basically, really. So if you're looking for some awesome terrain that just you put down on the table and you're ready to go.
Yep. And later we'll actually talk a little bit about how I made the terrain for one of these tables. So not Guild Force 9, but the different stuff that I built.
Because you've been working on some cool bone terrain.
Yeah. So
like skeleton
I'll
tree.
talk later on how I did this piece.
Yeah.
And the
that looks
rest of the
great.
piece, because I made 12 pieces around 12 pieces of this, and it's actually very easy. I think if you would put it in time, if you have the bones, it's I think 2 hours and you have a complete table.
Them bones. Them dry bones.
And
All right, we'll be talking about that a little later.
We'll talk about that a little later.
So we've got we'll be talking a little bit about events and ticket numbers, where we're at right now. We'll be talking a little bit about the press conference that the Dutch government gave and what possible effects that might have on our events. We'll be talking a little bit about that.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, we have our terrain show-off, which is actually what you just talked about, and for my time we'll be showing how we made that terrain and some nice tips on how you can make it at home as well, because he has some interesting tips. And then we'll be talking about the rules pack and Pun.
Yeah, so we released 2 rules pack this week from 40k, so No Surrender and the Hanseatic Open. We already released the AOS rules pack and the 9th rules pack, and we'll just skim over them and talk like the most important stuff. And then
Yes.
after that, we'll talk on how you can put your list on PunPun yourselves, because everybody knows list checking and putting lists and everything is actually, it's not that hard, but it takes a lot of time. And now you can actually put in the list yourself without us helping, without us
Yes.
checking. And then later on, when list checking is, somebody just presses your name and it's done. So I think it's the best we had.
It's a new feature on our PunPun. Yeah.
Yeah, and we already tested it a lot of times, so we think that it actually is already up and running if in
Yeah, it's- it
for the
just-
next event. So
Yeah. It's going to be activated. You know,
Yeah.
people can't actually do it right now, but it'll be activated in a few days. So you know,
Yeah.
far in advance of the actual event.
And you'll get every info you need on email, on everything, like
Yep.
all our communications. But
So we'll actually be showing that. So a little tutorial.
little tutorial.
Little tutorial. We'll be talking about our September event. It's rules pack, you know, for 40k, 9th Age, and Age of Sigmar. So, like you said, we'll be going through that a little bit. And then, last but not least, it's your turn to do Rants of Fury.
Rants of Fury.
So yeah,
Yeah, we're not gonna tell you what it is.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic.
Yeah.
As I think let's hope that it always be as epic as last week. So I'm trying. I have a hard, like the level is very high, so I'm just gonna try it.
put the bar high. Yeah, did I?
That's no problem.
Oh, that's okay.
And
We'll be fine.
then after those Rants of Fury, if one of you guys knows any of the like a unit that you want
Yeah.
to rant about, either send in your own rant and maybe say, okay, you need to read this, or
Mhm.
maybe you just send in a voice message
Yeah.
or whatever. Everything is possible.
Yep.
As long as you rant the living hell out of it.
Yep.
So
It can be anything. You can do. You can give us suggestions on.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be necessarily 40k. It can be Age of Sigmar or anything really.
Yeah.
And we'll check it out. And you know, if it's really ridiculous, we'll make a rant about it.
yes, just don't do like games we don't know. So don't do X-Wing or
It has to be Games Workshop related.
yeah, because we usually know most games.
Because it's kind of hard to rant about something if you don't really fully understand
Yeah.
what you're ranting about.
Yeah, indeed.
Although I'd wager most people rant about stuff they don't really, you know.
Yeah, so we actually had a talk about Friendly Fire Fridays, and he said that he would like to see some more different games in, because we usually focus a lot on 40k or on AOS.
Who said that?
Yeah, Vice actually said,
Okay.
okay, if you want
Vice
to,
had-
if you want
Vice.
to attack more people,
Yeah.
just okay. So there is a plan on doing that from
Yes.
from next week on.
Yes.
To make like a little.
We'll be talking about one game each week actually, and maybe some, you know, new rules, new models, or general what the game is about.
Yeah, so think
Stuff like
Warhammer Underworlds or Star Wars Armada, or maybe even a tabletop game like Dungeons and Dragons or Magic the Gathering or whatever. You never know. You never know.
Yep.
So
That's in the pipelines.
yeah.
For
So
next week.
for next week. And next week I actually had a promise from Agnes that she will talk AOS with me. So that's
Well,
great.
all right, it's a promise.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
So should we go into it?
Um,
So pre-orders last day.
Yeah, so it's going to be the last day for pre-orders. We have, as you know, we have about 8 different table setups with all new items. So our forests, our Imperial Forest, Elven Forest, and Necron Forest, our new Necron terrain in a box series. Like, okay, you have 6 pieces of terrain, like ruins, and then you have two monoliths and 4 forests in like
Yeah.
one small box. I think you can actually fit 4 of those in an IKEA box. So you have 4
Yeah,
tables
very
in one.
easily,
So that's
actually.
very awesome. And we upgraded our Elven kit. Already sold a few of them, so it's 120 euros for a full Elven, like Eldar table with an altar, with a watchtower, with 2 big gates and 2 small gates,
Yeah.
and forests and barricades. So I mean,
Yeah,
like
it's a full table.
It's a full table.
Yeah.
And
Great. 120 euros.
yeah, so all tables like start at 105, and then they go up the amount of the amount of terrain you want. For a 105, you have like the simplest factory table we have with ruins, open ruins, closed ruins, and forests and stuff. And then when you go to, I think the most expensive one is 155. You have everything you need to do to build every factory table there is. So.
That's pretty good. actually.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So it was a few good weeks, and actually the most sold item is, and I'm gonna get it.
Drum roll.
Look at these these magic things over here.
Ta-da.
Our table resizers.
Yeah.
Just put these in the corner of your table, do 4 of them on your 6 by 4 feet battle mat, and you have the new table size.
There you go. You can use them as coasters.
You can use them as
You can put them on
coasters.
your cricket chair. Multifunctional.
We actually had one guy from Australia just buying only these.
Yeah.
Buying like
We wanted to give him a shout out. Anyway, so
Yeah.
there's a dude in what's his name? Do we know his name?
I can look it up.
You look it up.
I'll look it up. You'll
So there's this guy. I'm going to look up your name because it's really worth mentioning your name. There's a guy, a lovely guy, in Australia that just ordered these. But how much are these again?
750.
$7.50, and so we had to ship them to Australia. And it's like a 30, what is it? Like a 30 Australian dollar
Yeah, it's like
shipment cost, something
yeah,
like that.
it was 19. So it's
So
20 euros.
So it's almost 3 times the expenses of the item of the purchase items.
Yeah, and he actually doesn't have to pay for his taxes. So for him it's 6 euros 20. So it's more than 3 times the shipment value.
Yeah.
So just so you know, Ryan, it's coming your way. And
You're awesome, dude.
You're gonna get a little.
We're gonna put on, yeah, we
Little
talked about it.
extra.
We're gonna put in a little extra because
Yeah.
yeah, we love you.
Yeah. So we're very
Great.
happy to see that people from the other side of the
Yeah,
world
yeah.
is willing to.
Apparently our stuff is reaching like all over the world, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today is the last day, and I actually had to say, Faiz, you wanted to buy a set, and I'm just looking at the microphone, I'm just watch over there. Faiz, I just needed to remind you that you still wanted to buy something. This is my reminder, and I think I'll send you a message through WhatsApp.
So what did Faiz want to buy?
You wanted to buy a set for the Radar Strike Force.
Oh,
for
did
the
he?
club.
Okay. For the club and his homies?
Yeah, for his homies. Yeah, because they had they have 2 or 3 full tables, but they want a little extra.
Very cool.
So
Okay.
and last time I was playing there, I just took a box of terrain with me.
Radio. So, in closure, about this item, this is the last day.
This
of
is the
pre-order.
last day.
This is the last day
For
for the pre-order of the train sets,
for
right?
pre-order of the terrain sets.
And that means that if you order them today, we'll bring them to the event. That's what that means, right?
We'll take them to the. So you can actually choose to pick them up at the event, even if you pre-order it. But if you pre-order it and want it shipped, it will be sent to you the 1st of September. But if you don't do a pre-order and you do a very big order, there's a chance that you have to wait for us to make them because we have to build the terrain for
Yeah.
our events as well.
Yeah.
So there is a chance that
Yeah.
we don't have enough of those sets and you have to just wait. I think they'll be shipped a week later or something. But that's,
But if you absolutely want to make sure you get it
Yep.
on time for the event, so that we can take it to the event,
Yeah.
right? This is the last day.
yeah, it's for us
If
it's
you
way
absolutely
easier.
want to make sure, right?
For us it's way easier.
Yeah, it's yeah,
And
and
it'll actually save you shipping, which
Yeah.
is for a big kit. Some big kits are
Yeah.
actually very heavy, so then you just go to maybe 14, 15 euros for shipping.
yeah.
Well, if you can save them.
This
why
is
not?
cheaper.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so that's that one done.
Yeah.
So then we'll go into events and ticket numbers. So I mean, you have the numbers, right?
Yeah,
You're
I
the
have
number
the
guy.
numbers, right.
He's the number guy, folks. I'm just the guy that
So
fills in.
I have to. You get to give me one little sack.
Sure. I'll do a little dance while he does it.
Do a little dance. Make a little
Get
love.
down
right?
tonight. Get down tonight.
So we'll talk September 1st, of course. Well, No Surrender still sold out. So we had a few drops, but we already contacted the guys from the
Sold
reserve
out.
list. So if you want to be in the reserve list is around 4 people now. So there is a chance that you can still play. It's only one day. It's on the Saturday. It's 3 games. It's the first 9th edition tournament there is for
Yeah.
us. And you can only play one single faction, so there's going to be no souping allowed. So not even like Nurgle, you have to play Nurgle Demon or Death Guard, but you
Yep.
cannot combine.
Nope.
So we already sold that out, and we're very happy to see that. Like, okay, when we have a drop, all the players are still willing to come.
Mm-hmm.
Then next to that, we have the 9th Age Awaken the Beast. That's on the Sunday.
Awaken the
Awaken the
beast.
Beast. And we already sold 55 tickets for that for the 9th Age, which is actually a record for us.
Oh, cool.
With the last doubles we were playing around 48 people, and the grand tournament was 49, I think.
So we're actually very close to that.
Yeah, so we actually the biggest event for the 9th Age in Holland up to date for us. and then we hope we can sell
Sweet.
it out. It's only 9 tickets left, so make
Bring
sure.
your buddy.
So yeah,
If you know people, and they're still in the fans, just
yeah.
talk
And
them into it.
So this Sunday we're actually working on all the terrain for. So we'll actually build 32 tables of terrain in one day.
There you go. So it's extra terrain. It's gonna be cool terrain.
Yeah.
Very tropical. You already saw it.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
See, so
and
talk,
it's all new, so no chipping,
Yeah.
everything is.
to ninth age buddies or
Yeah.
people, talk your buddies into it. Do whatever. I don't care. Say whatever you have to say. Make empty promises. Just
Yeah.
lie about it.
We don't care.
We don't.
As long as they come.
As
That's all
long
it
as
is.
you come, and we'll promise you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
That's our promise.
So the last one for September is gonna be the Return to the Realms Grand Tournament.
realms.
Age of Sigmar event. We
Yes.
already sold around 36 tickets. There were actually a lot of British people thinking of coming, but since we're in red or orange country now, when they come over here, they have to
Yeah.
be in quarantine 2
Yeah.
weeks when they come back. So that actually is not. They can actually not come
No,
over
I
here.
wouldn't want to do that.
So that's too bad. We still have a lot of Dutch people, and we're very happy to see that. But we hope we can get over that 40-ish number.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So if you still know buddies that are willing to come, they have,
Again,
they have
lie.
already.
Empty promises.
Yeah, empty promises.
Or,
Same as
or
always.
things that'll be there that won't.
Yeah, just say, everybody's coming in cosplay and everything.
everybody's gonna be awesome.
And then he's coming in his full list, Seraphon suit.
It's gonna be these Hawaiian girls just waving big fans just to keep it cool.
Sisters of Battle,
Yeah,
with,
Sisters of Battle,
with
yeah.
whips and such. Repentia.
Yeah. Sweet.
Okay.
With me.
Yeah, with me, please.
Yep.
So that actually, we really want to see our Age of Sigmar community growing.
Yes.
I think that actually is one of the biggest growing communities in Holland, and we simply do not see it yet on our events, which is not a problem. If you want to play in your zone, of course, no problem.
Yeah.
But
That's fine.
The first time I played an event, I was like, I'm not really a competitive player, blah, 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 blah. And then the first time
Yeah.
I came was the grand tournament for 40k in Tilburg. From I think the Saints were still organizing it. And I had a blast, even though I got
Yeah.
my ass handed to me like 4 times, and I actually won 1 game.
There you go.
And
Sweet.
I mean, if you're playing amateur soccer, you cannot think of yourself winning from Ajax or Barcelona. So, but
Yeah,
there's still a chance that once in a competition there's that team that just want to be friends and just staying like, okay, we want to win everything. So
Yep.
they kick your ass with 10-0, and then
Yep.
the other players the other teams are still not good. Like it's like level. So.
Yeah.
You'll always have those guys that
Yeah.
will kick your ass because they're so good.
Well, there's this stigma. I mean, we keep coming back to this, but that's because there's still this stigma that whenever you go to an event, like a competitive event, people want to win, and that equates to people being assholes, which is not the case.
No.
I've frequently said, like, I've played against the most capable players we have here in the Netherlands, and they're some of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Yeah.
You know, I've had great games. I've had my ass handed to me plenty of times, but
Yeah.
it's not like I feel like the person was being an asshole. He was being very cool about it. He just knows the game very well, and he knows how to win. So if this is your first event, don't be afraid of that, something like that happening, because the chance of actually meeting an asshole, albeit there is that chance, it's very small. It's like a very small percentage of people who actually act that way. And the rest of the people are very chill, so there are people very competitive, and will try to win, but they won't be dicks about it. And there will be people in the middle, right? And then there will be people like maybe like if you're a first timer, there are plenty of first timers as well. Or
Always.
people
We usually have about 25% newcomers.
Yeah.
So or maybe
it's
maybe
gonna be
50.
it'll be a great day for everyone. You might get first pairing is up to chance, and you might be paired against someone who's like a veteran in the game, and you'll probably lose. But that's also part of the game. Losing isn't that bad as long as you have fun. And then you'll be paired against people more at your skill level, and you'll have better games. If that's really a worry, please don't.
No, and actually, the funny thing is that you can actually the last round you can always challenge someone.
Yes.
Meaning that you won't score any points, but
Yeah,
you can still have like your
Yeah.
okay. I had 4 games of relatively good fun, but now I want to play my buddy because
You can do that.
Yeah, and then you can actually you won't score any points, but there's always I've seen people like competitive players challenging people in the
Yeah.
end because they just want to have like the fun last game.
Usually they're already out of the running for
Yeah.
first place, right? And they go like, well, I'm just gonna do this game. I'm just gonna play this guy because I haven't played him in a while, and we always have epic games together.
There's actually an echo, Moon Tyranid says.
Is there an echo?
Is it because we have like two?
Should be. I'll check it out.
So he's gonna check it out, and I'm gonna put my mic a little bit closer. Maybe that makes it like, I don't know, that it's farther from you. Okay, so a little echo is is it bad, Moon Tyranid? Just let us know so that we know that if it's like really bad, we maybe do it with one mic or something.
I don't. This is weird. It's probably no. Can you?
So
Let's
should
do a
I put
little
something
check.
over here? I mean, if it's not, I can actually put something like that over here again.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
Try it. I think it's because your voice is being also picked up by my mic. That really shouldn't be the case. But streaming always has its issues. It's very.
Yeah.
It's always like we've been here for like 4 hours already, and I've been checking everything. It's like, okay, everything's working fine.
Yep.
And then at the point like we're streaming, something goes wrong like this.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's too bad. But you do seem to have a little bit echo. Let me check now.
Is this already better? I mean, not really. Maybe you could
No.
put your screen like in front of it as well. Like, I don't know, like the mic
Well-
more to your right or something.
I'm already.
Well,
I
if
think
it's not,
it's only you.
it's only me.
Yeah.
So you hear, this one echoes or that one echoes?
Your microphone echoes for some reason. But let's not dwell on it too long. Pushing on.
Yeah, pushing on.
It's not that bad that we're not like inaudible. It's a little.
Oh,
You-
now it's fine. Now it's worse. Okay, so like last week was okay. So we'll fix it. No problem.
Yep.
It's gonna be good. So where were we? We were talking numbers, right? As usual.
We were talking numbers, so we just mentioned Age of Sigmar tickets. So I think that was all the events.
Yeah. So we have Hanseatic Open.
Oh, yeah.
So September is done. Now we're gonna go October. That's 1 week after that. And during that event, we'll have 120 players. We'll have. There's actually been a lot of people canceling the last few days, which means the reserve list is like well, it's getting shorter, but we still have a lot of people on the reserve list. So if you want to come to Bremen, it's a GT. It's 2 days. It's going to be 5 games. Simply because of Corona, we cannot say we're going to do 6 games because there can be some difficulties, and we don't want to risk people getting like being done on a Sunday at around 8. That will be way too late to get home. So that's why we said, okay, let's do it. Let's only do 5 games. We'll talk the rules back in about in a few minutes. And we actually have around 10 people left in the reserve list at the moment. So Hanseatic Open sold out as well. Tickets are going like from from person to person. If you want to get rid of your ticket, you can sell it yourself, or you can say, okay, I want to get a refund, and could you please sell my ticket to someone else? And then last but not least, the Alliance Open Super Major Grand Tournament, Big Bang, Gedoozle.
Big caboodle. Yeah.
So we already sold 212 tickets. Jay from Mohawk Miniatures actually is giving away a free ticket this weekend on his stream.
Oh, cool.
So
Good old Jay.
Good old Jay. So he's one of our buddies. I mean, he'll actually be doing the single miniature prize as well during the Alliance Open event. So
Okay,
he will give
cool.
away. He'll actually give away an airbrush.
What?
Like a gun, like an airbrush gun, not a gun and an airbrush, but an airbrush gun.
Gun.
So the winner of the best painted miniature, so that's only one single miniature, which you can choose. So you can say, okay, I wanna admit one for the best painted miniatures, and then he's gonna check them all out. So if you are like, okay, I'm not the best of a painter, but I want to know what he thinks of it, you can still put it in, and he'll discuss it. Last GT was awesome. We saw a lot of people committing one model, and we actually had. I mean, that dreadnought was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
You mean
The red one with
the librarian dreadnought,
yeah, no, it was
the
I
Blood
think it,
Angel.
I think it was not Blood Angel. I think it was Custodes. It was
Yeah,
like
but
a
yeah,
Talaman or Achilles.
The model was, but he used it as a
Yeah,
librarian
yeah,
dreadnought.
yeah. It was. I mean,
I mean, that looked awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I that was my.
Maybe we
favorite
can
as
maybe
well.
we can post it later on if we have a picture. I think we have a picture somewhere.
Somewhere in the archives.
Somewhere in the archives.
The librarian.
So the Alliance Open, we actually are working on some kind of high roller package, as known as during the LVO.
Yep. High rolling.
It's gonna be a little bit different because it's gonna be we're gonna use coins for getting drinks and something to eat.
Yes.
And those coins we can actually give you a discount in our high roller package, and you'll have like a survivor the Alliance Open package. So you'll have dice, you'll have a dice tray, you'll have a dice bag, you'll have a water bottle, you have objective markers, and we actually saw the objective markers today.
Do we wanna give people a tease of that?
Most people on
Are we
Discord
gonna get in
already-
trouble if we do that?
Most people in Discord know how they look. So, I mean, those actually they have the scoop.
All right.
So if you want the scoop,
Be on the Discord channel.
Be on the Discord channel.
Become our Patreon.
become a Patreon.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
and it's only for €2 a month. So,
All right. So
then you
it's,
get
a,
a Discord.
it's a privilege that the Discord people,
yeah, yeah.
Discord folk,
The Discord folk,
the Diskies.
like the crab peoples and stuff.
Markers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So yeah, that's numbers. So should we go over to our next topic, which is the press conference? And
there's one thing I still want. So some of you may have seen the mascot for our the Alliance Open event.
Oh, yeah.
Our new Rave Lord Rave.
Yeah.
Our Rave Guard. And we actually
Moon Tyranid says the Discord ghouls.
So we actually had a vote for the name of this mascot, and I'm gonna bring it up right now.
Right.
So we had 14 votes. So no, we had a little more right now.
Okay.
Let's see, it's gonna loading. So it ended with a 43% win on Winston the Raveblade.
Winston the Wraith.
Winston the Raveblade. So the second place was Kairos. That's like it's from a mythology. It's a personification of Kairos, the god of opportunity and luck.
Yes.
Then I brought in Heyo, as in AO or whatever. And then with 7% it was Socius, and which is Latin for ally, which is of course for Alliance Open. So the winner is actually Winston the Raveblade.
Winston the Wraith.
So
I feel like he now needs a monocle.
I think we can work it out.
I'll put it to CJ. Like a little monocle.
My name is Winston.
My name is Winston the Wraithblade.
Yeah, so we're actually very happy that we've seen this vote going around.
Yes.
We usually do a vote a week for our Discord people, our Discord people again. We don't know what vote it's going to be from. I don't know. It's going to be another vote. We usually do one poll a week.
Yeah, about something.
With something.
Anything really.
Anything really. So the objective markers actually had a vote.
Yeah.
Our Heroes of the Alliance dice actually got a vote, and we actually came in contact with our supplier again. So those Heroes of the Alliance dice, which everyone loves, are gonna get ordered really soon, and they'll maybe even be handed out during the September event if everything works out. But usually, it doesn't.
So, joking aside, if you're actually in our Discord via being Patreon, you actually get to vote on lots of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you actually get a chance to get that stuff. I mean,
Really?
Heroes of the Alliance, you'll score loyalty points for coming to our events, but if you're a patron, you score more loyalty points. So then you'll get those goodies sooner than
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, it'll be special.
So special. Okay, so next talk was actually the press conference from
Yes.
from last week.
Yes.
It was Tuesday, and the things are not really looking that good in Holland considering COVID. the numbers are still rising, especially in Amsterdam and Rotterdam. And as you know, our event is actually being held in Amsterdam.
Yep.
They already announced there will be further regulations in Amsterdam, but we don't know what it is yet.
No.
On the 25th of August, they'll actually announce if they'll how big the scale up will be for regulations.
Yeah.
And that could mean that we need to go down in numbers for our event in September.
That could possibly be
So
something.
we are talking scenarios with the guys on how to pick it up. But one thing we can actually say for sure is that we will be playing with mandatory face masks.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a big talk.
We talked about it last week as well.
Yeah, we talked about it, but right now we actually talked with the guys from Van der Valk. We talked with the guy from the Jaarbeurs, and they said every international or internationally like flavored event says face masks.
Yep.
No exceptions.
Yep.
So,
So it's a thing, folks.
yeah, it was a hard thing, but it actually is. I think it's the best.
I mean, yeah.
As an event, you just want to make sure that you keep your players safe.
Yeah, and healthy.
Safe and healthy,
Yep.
and this is the way we can actually make sure that actually is the case.
Yeah. So, folks, it's mandatory to wear a face mask.
Yep.
We ask that everybody who comes brings their own face mask. I mean, if you have your own, that's always more comfortable.
Yeah.
However, if you don't, we have face masks,
Yep.
like the standard
We'll
ones.
provide them, but it's going to be the standard face masks,
Yes.
and we will. Yeah, if you have a cloth one, please use it. I know it's way better. I use both of them, and it's just.
It's more comfortable. It's
your own,
it's
so
your
you
own.
know how you handle it.
So we are providing. If you don't have one, we will be providing you with one each round, like a new one each round,
Yeah.
because you can only use those for
3 hours. Yeah.
right?
So
yeah.
during day one for 40k, it's going to be very easy. During day one, you get one when you come in. Then when you go to lunch and you get back, you get another one. And then after that, we will provide everyone with an extra one. So
Yep.
it's going to be, maybe we'll actually do all three when you come in. It's going to be. We'll check it out.
Yeah, I mean, how exactly we will be bringing them to you, we'll figure out. But we will be, you will have a fresh one for each round.
Yeah. So for those guys thinking, okay, this is for me is a real deal breaker. We understand.
Yeah.
You can get a refund, so please contact us. We would really love everybody to come. So, and we know that it is not that big of a deal when you're used to it.
No.
And if the graph goes up like this in Holland, I think you better get used to it because it's probably mandatory.
It might become
a lot of
mandatory
people.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about doing it in front of class.
Yeah, because you're a teacher.
Because I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
I'm going to start next week. And Bergen op Zoom, where I teach, is actually it's like a cluster over there.
Bergen on Zoom.
Bergen on Zoom. Yeah. Mountains on Zoom.
Mountains on Zoom.
Yeah. And this actually will count for all the events during September and November. So our super major will also be mandatory face masks.
Maybe we'll give a little prize for the person with the coolest face mask.
Yeah, that actually is a
Tiny little prize. Yeah.
For those guys coming to the Hanseatic Open, where in Germany it was already mandatory because but we actually have a sponsor giving away the face masks.
Oh, really?
So they'll provide everyone with a face mask, cloth face mask with the logos on it.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you know someone who is willing to sponsor our events, or you want to do it with face masks, just contact us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big. There's 100 people being there.
It's a big industry at the moment.
If your logo is on there.
It's free advertising.
Yeah, free advertising indeed. So, well, I think it's safe to say that we have to do our part as well as a community, as organizers, but you as players as well. So
Yes.
make sure to be safe, man. That's all I can say.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Yeah. Just all wear a Space Marine helmet and it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Space Marine helmet. Yeah, I think that protects you against pretty much.
Or come as Darth Vader.
Yeah. Sweet.
If that happens, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. So all Darth Vader's coming in.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. We'd have to take a picture and then
Yeah.
and make a video of it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then one guy is Leia.
Leia.
Yeah, it has to be a guy. It has to cosplay as Leia.
Oh, it's gonna be Bianca.
Yeah, but that's not a guy. It has to be a guy.
Okay, sounds good to me. Sounds good
Okay.
to me.
Cool.
Well, that actually was Corona talk for this week.
Yep.
We'll probably be having news next week because the 25th of August, Amsterdam will tell us what their regulations will be for
Yep.
events. And
Yep. So moving on to the next
So let's
topic
go to
then.
the next one.
So that's actually our terrain show off.
Oh, it's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna. do
Yeah,
my
are
exercises.
are you ready, my friend?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, I'm gonna set up our.
Your gallery.
So we'll start with what you've been cooking
Yeah,
in the
so
kitchen.
Just put on the pictures on the gallery, and then after that, I'll just tell them on how I did what I did.
Yep. No, we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
Okay. So on the first picture, you can. So is that the one with all the drawings,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you can see is actually what I did is it's a foam core board, and I actually draw out everything I needed to draw out on how big my base would be.
Yeah.
And then simply I used a Stanley knife or a knife, a very sharp one, to cut through it very easily. I think
Okay.
this was 3 millimeters. If you want to be sure to get as less warping as possible, and I'll get there later, you probably want 5 millimeters, just to be sure.
Yeah.
After I cut it, what I do, I bevel, and I have a knife
Bevel,
here.
eh?
I'm gonna bevel.
Mm.
I have a knife over here.
Yeah,
So what you do,
They can't actually see.
so I have a knife. So what you do is you pick the foam core and you actually put it like in a diagonal on the side, and you just go through it in one quick motion, and then you'll actually have a beveled side, so the models won't fall off when you're standing on the side.
Alright, I see.
And it already also gives you a more natural feel of your train instead of it being like big stamps on your table.
Yeah, let me know when you want to go to the
Yeah,
next.
so as you can see, I had around 1, 2, 3, so I had about 8 pieces. And I made sure that every piece was big enough to, when I bevel wrong, I still have,
Gotta have that bevel.
yeah. So I still have a little space to go around. So that's the picture number 1. So the next pictures you'll see, I actually beveled everything, and then what I did, I made a paste of filler. Do you have the filler? So I had a paste of filler.
You wanna go? Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. So I had a paste of filler. I had pigment from. This is from Sensis. I know it's from Praxis or Gamma or whatever,
Yeah,
the Home
you get
Depot
it,
store.
yeah.
You actually pick the color that fits your mat to the like, not to the. You can actually use as much pigment as you want.
Yeah.
But be careful, because when you put in a few drops, it's like, well, it's never going to be enough color, and you're going to put a lot of it, and then you're going to mix it up, and it's like, okay, now it's way too much color, and then you have to, of course, dilute it with white again.
Yeah.
So you're just going to use your filler.
What did you use this for filler?
I just went to the Action, and I bought the instant filler from Spectrum. So it's actually
That one over there?
it's €3 for 250 milliliters.
What is it? Just paint or what?
No, it actually is like
What you use to
what you
fill
use-
holes with?
Yeah, what you use to
In
fill
the
a hole
mold.
with. Yeah.
What do we call it?
We just call it filler. I just call it filler.
Yeah, filler,
That's- you mix it up with your pigment. You're gonna put about 1/10 of PVA in it. So when you will actually apply it, you can actually put something in it and it'll stick.
PVA glue, yeah.
Yeah, because PVA glue, because filler is not an adhesive, so it will
No.
not put something. So when you press something in and then it hardens out, you can actually take it out without any problems. Or that looks kind of weird. So and then what I always do is put a cup of latex in it as well, because I don't know why. It's just it gives you a more smooth, clean finish.
Smooth.
Which makes sure that you can actually, with a little water, you can smooth it out, and it has the best look.
So what you see on the picture now is, you put the paste on with the
Yeah.
pigment, and it makes like a light brownish substance.
Yeah, and then I just put it. What you have to do is put it on the sides as well, where you beveled it, because that is actually styrofoam. So when you would use a spray on it, like a primer, it'll actually melt away the foam if you did not put enough filler on.
So you use it also to just really kind of reinforce the foam
Yeah.
and make sure it doesn't melt when you spray your primer on it.
Yeah, the piece that you see in the middle is very very sturdy. So
Yeah.
it's very. I think it weighs about 300 grams, which is a lot for terrain.
Yeah,
So it actually is very.
But it's real bone.
Yeah, so it's real bone, and then with the filler being like stone-ish, so
Yeah.
it's actually very solid. And what you need to do is put like a big dot of the paste. Press everything that you want to put in, press it in,
Yeah.
and then you want to take a little water. So take a cup of water next to it, put your fingers in it, and just push it out so that you'll get a smooth finish.
Okay.
And when you put the water in it, you can actually see that it actually is. You don't want to put too much water in it, but actually smooth it out, and you'll have the most natural feel. If it's like a ruin,
Natural.
it's sort of like a ruin. It doesn't have to be that smooth, but it actually gives you a lot of more playability with the paste.
Okay.
So that's the few tips I can give you.
So we go to the third picture. Then?
Yeah, over to the third picture. And what I did over here, so it actually has a natural color already, but you want to give it like different colors in your painting. So what I did, this time I took Sandry Dust from Citadel, but you can use any color you want,
Yeah.
and just dust it over the side, so you'll have a different. So you have like a zenithal or like I don't know what you can call it, but you give it a lot of more depth into those colors.
Yep.
Just don't spray it straight on top of it, because you create a cloud of paint. It actually takes only a few parts of that paste and gives you multiple colors.
I
in it.
see. Very cool.
So,
So you get a bit of color variation.
yeah, a lot of color variation. And the thing with the paste is that since you put pigment in it, and you will chip during the gaming, because terrain always gets like a little chipping, because you put pigment into the filler, it will actually not be clear white. It will actually have the color you have for you made. So it actually looks very natural.
Yeah.
Giving you like the easiest way to
Yeah.
to make any part of terrain. And as you can see, this is actually kind of finished now. It needs a small dry brush
Yeah.
and maybe a little moss here and there or something, or maybe clean off the bones a little.
Yeah, you could maybe airbrush in a little bit more dark.
Yeah.
Or something.
So I
You
maybe
could-
do a little dry brush on the side, so you have like the more
Yeah.
sandy feeling. But
I like it.
As you can see, it is. I think I've done this in 3 segments.
Yeah.
And I think I took about 3 hours.
That's not a lot. actually.
These bones, if you look on Marktplaats, eBay, or whatever, you can actually get these
Really?
very cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of that on there?
Well, not human bodies, but
No.
not human
I mean
bodies.
that's Denny, right?
This
We talked about it last
yeah,
week.
This is Danny.
Because he's transcended his human body. He's now like Zordon in a,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a tube. We've been talking about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, he's gonna walk around next event.
Yeah. So he'll be in that tube and Rangers. You
Yeah.
know?
So it's gonna be very awesome. Actually, I can see the
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it. Well, it's got like a wire, but whatever.
Yeah, so this was what I'm actually over here is actually the same. This is actually done with that paste as well, and the size as well, just to make sure, because this is foam core as well.
Yeah. Very light.
So this is way different, and we're gonna talk about this next week. How he built these.
Oh, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be very easy.
Cool.
A little train talk
Next
again.
segment of terrain tips.
Yeah. So, and this is very hard.
Just a
so,
tip.
if you want quick terrain, keep listening.
Okay, well listen, oh wise master. All right, so that's our terrain talk.
Yeah.
Shall we go over to? I've got it set up anyway to Pun on how to do that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'll be going back to our little gallery. There we go. So folks, here we are in the gallery. So you're going to talk me through, because Pun has a new feature. We've talked about a little bit in our intro, in that you can now submit your own army list.
Yep.
And it's very easy. You told me how to do it, and
I'm gonna talk you guys through it.
yeah. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on the punpun.now. Never mind the test.punpun.now. That's just because
We use it as a test.
we use it as a test. But for everyone else, it's, as you can see on the top of the screen, www.punpun.now.
Yeah. And it's actually very easy. What you do is you write your list in Battlescribe or
Yeah.
Azir, whichever you choose.
Yes.
You're gonna copy the text you have, either your PDF file from
Yeah.
Azir or from Battlescribe. We prefer copying the text like chat.
Okay.
Make sure that you have all the points in there. Like if you have you should put it to all point costs, and then with the no rules, no summary and stuff. But
Yeah, Battlescribe does it pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you make it like the chat text.
yeah, so copy as text, chat text, and then you can actually go to the tournament.
Yeah.
Just
So here I am on the main page.
Yeah, so
let's say I'm entering the TTS Age of Sigmar League, which I did.
Yeah.
But, you know, and once everybody's names has been put in, you can click on it.
Yeah, so,
So here we are.
You click on the Age of Sigmar League.
Yep.
You find out your name.
If my name is
Yeah.
me, Steve from Northside.
Yep. And you will get an email from us sent to you by Pon.nl. So make sure to check your spam
Because
in
there's
the
a-
upcoming week. It's
Yeah,
gonna be I think this week, either Monday, Tuesday, something like that.
Yeah.
You will get an email with your personal identification number, your PIN
The
number.
code, right?
Yeah.
And you need that code.
You need that code.
So here it is. This is my page, basically. And here I have...
You already played a few games, but that's not important
Yeah,
right now.
the point is there will be a button that says submit/update army list.
Yeah.
And you click on that, and then you'll be sent over to this screen where it's actually, it really speaks for itself, really.
Yeah.
My army name, I'll call it like Big Wall, like the big boys. And then a pin code, so that will be from the email
Yeah,
you'll
so
be
that's
sent.
what for you this time is 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. So you do your primary faction. My primary faction is, where are we? The War Clans.
Yep. So you actually there's of course a difference between AOS and 40k. Make sure that you pick the right one because this
Yeah.
one will also be the one you use for best infection.
Yeah.
So when you pick the wrong one,
Yeah, it's
and we find out you're actually like disqualified for best infection.
Yeah, so make sure you put the primary faction is very important because if you want to be best in faction for your faction, make sure you do that right. And then there's this big space with army list here, and this is where you copy your list right
Yep.
into.
Yeah.
And then if you copy it in there, make sure you run it like give it one last rundown, check if everything's
Check if everything is
okay.
correct.
And
Yep.
then once that's done, you just click submit army list. I'm gonna click cancel here, but you know you submit
You
your
get-
army list, and then here on the list of Big Wall.
You can actually submit army list because it will not say error or something.
No.
It's okay.
Okay.
So then you'll actually have submitted your army list.
Yeah, it'll be over here.
We can see when the last time is that you edited your army list, and if that is after the list deadline, you'll have a problem because you cannot do that.
Yep.
We can actually close it on that time, but when you have an error in your list,
Error.
you can we'll open them up again and we'll make sure that you can change
Yeah.
your list.
Okay.
So this way you can actually make sure that all the lists are correct. Everyone will play with a legal list, and we won't have any big problems with submitting the list because
Very
that
good,
was, I mean, that always was a pain in the ass, right?
It always is, really.
Yeah, and right now it's very easy. This is the easiest you can get. I think there is no problem for anyone putting in the list right now. So you will get an email
Yeah.
with your personal identification number. You get an email with the rules pack and with a tutorial, which is probably this segment of this Friendly Fire Fridays.
Yep.
To submit your army list.
All right.
And I think we'll actually put some at the end of our rules pack as well, like screenshots, so nobody has an excuse to not put in their army list. And this is it.
Yeah, that's it. It's easy as that. So that's Pun.
Yeah, so I can see that Justin is actually online. So Justin, Dusty, please tell us what you think. I mean, we really like some feedback from our guys. So just tell us what you think about the new features and everything that we talk about.
Yep. I mean, feedback something. If you notice something, please say so.
Yeah.
So CJ says also which markers. So we were talking like a couple of minutes ago about new markers that will be in the High Rollers package.
Yeah.
It's the objective markers
Yeah.
for
So it's going to be 6 objective markers.
Yes.
You're going to have 4 of one, and then 2 different ones because of the chance you get for primary objectives and Scorched Earth. So you can actually have all the different table layouts and objective layouts you can have, which makes it easier for you to know which marker is which.
Yes.
So, okay.
So we'll go into our next little bit, which we'll be talking about rules packs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to do first? I'm gonna leave it up to you.
I'm
I'm gonna go 40k, AOS, the Night Age.
Let's do Age of Sigmar first.
Age of Sigmar first.
Yes.
Okay. So Age of Sigmar, September 26th and 27th.
You need to go a bit, scooch a bit.
Oh, I'm gonna do my.
You're dancing. You're doing your little
Yeah.
dance again.
Yeah, do a little dance again.
Yeah.
So 26th, 27th of September, and it's actually gonna be a very straightforward loose pack.
Yeah.
It actually says, okay, we're gonna do everything that they say in the last General's Handbook.
Yes.
But we picked 11 missions, which seem like a GT level mission for us
From the handbook.
from
Right?
the handbook,
Mhm.
and just say, okay, we're gonna roll on the day itself before every round which mission is gonna be.
Which is interesting because normally you don't really see that.
No. There are a few tournaments that already do this, and mainly the Warhammer World tournaments do this as well.
Really? Okay.
But the thought from our perspective is that you cannot build a list on a certain mission pack. We actually took out Star Strike because that's like a very annoying mission
Yeah.
because it's purely based on luck,
Mm-hmm.
and we think that there should be no luck involved in mission objectives and stuff.
Okay.
So we actually took that one out, and we picked 11 missions that are actually in the General's Handbook.
Okay.
So none of the core book, just only the General's Handbook.
Yes.
Next to that, there are no like real big rules. It's just going to be 200 points. All factions are allowed. There was a talk with the new FAQ coming in that there were certain allegiances that were not allowed because they said everything that is not in the rules books or in the General's Handbook is not allowed anymore.
Uh-huh.
But we said that Legion of Grief is still allowed, which is only in another book. But so
Okay.
everyone can play the faction they want.
Yeah. So
Simply put.
that's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So auxiliary missions. That's kind of new as well, right?
Yeah, so you have to pick 3 auxiliary missions,
Yes.
which you can only pick once during the whole event.
Yeah. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, so you have 18 auxiliary missions, and you can choose them once. But if you score them, you get 1 point. But if you deny one from your opponent, you also get 1 point.
Yeah.
That also means that you pick 3, and you get 3 more extra. So you can get 6 points in auxiliary. If you have a major loss, meaning your opponent gets 14 points, and you score all auxiliaries and he scores none, you'll still get 6 points. So there will be a
Yeah.
14-6.
You're gonna have to hedge your bets a little bit, and because there are probably missions you can always do, and there's probably a bunch of missions that's very either
Yeah.
mission dependent, maybe, or even opponent dependent.
I think there are none that every list can score every one of them. I think it's possible, but it's very
Yeah,
hard.
but I mean, certain missions are gonna be very hard on certain.
Yeah. So when you see you come up to a guy, you come to the room, and you say, okay, it's gonna be a hard game, but if I pick this auxiliary now in the first game,
Yeah.
and won't get it, but I'll win the matchup because I have a favorable matchup.
Yeah.
And you
Doesn't
think,
really
okay, I'm
matter.
gonna win anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna pick an auxiliary that's not that hard.
Yeah, because actually, that's a good point. Auxiliary missions don't really do anything to win you the game. It only matters if you're tied
There-
on the let's say primary.
Yeah, because you'll win the game anyway, but you'll get less points if you like. So if you win, if you have a major win,
Yeah.
you'll get 14 points. Your opponent gets 0.
Yeah.
And every auxiliary that you score, you get an extra one, and every one you deny from your player, you get an extra one as well. So
Yeah.
you can get 20 points, and he can get 0 if you score all your auxiliaries and he scores none.
Yep.
But it also means that if you have a minor win, and the minor win is when you actually have only 1 point differential in primaries,
Mm-hmm.
you get 10 points, your opponent gets 4.
Yeah.
If you get none of your auxiliaries and he gets all 3 of them, it'll actually be 10-10.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah.
So that's going to be, so you can actually still tie. But it's,
I don't think it's gonna come down to that a whole lot.
no, I don't
Because
think so.
I've already played like a few games, and none of them have come down to the auxiliary.
Mm.
You'll
They'll be more of a tiebreaker
Yes.
in the end. Than,
will they be points towards final scorings?
Yeah. So you can. So when you win a game by 20-0, you just get 20 points. But if you win 14-6, you'll get 14 points. So that actually means that if you win all your games with only 14 points, or you win 4 games with 14 points, and you'll actually draw the last one, someone with bigger major wins can actually scoot over you because you did not score enough points for your. So it's going to be very interesting how that works, especially since we have 5 games and we only have a little over 32 players. You'll actually have more. So let's see, 32 players will be 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. So there is a chance that if enough people draw, there is a chance that there will be a defeated winner. So not an undefeated.
It's actually possible, yeah.
That is possible. So it actually is very valid to still get the most points you can get.
You should always, anyway.
So just for you guys to know, there actually will be painting scores as well. And it's going to be a little easier to get like the bonus points for painting, because for AOS it's going to be a little different. You'll actually get more points if you score only 16 points of your painting points, but there will be less painting points to gain. So normally with 40k we had 40 points you can get, and when you get over 20 you get bonus points. But this actually says if you get over 16 you get your bonus points.
Okay.
But there's less. There are less ways to get like that extra point. So,
okay.
Is there anything else I need to talk to you about AOS specifically? No, not really.
So randomized missions on the day themselves.
Yeah, auxiliaries which you can score points on, and you can score points when you deny someone else's auxiliary, or he does not score, so not deny, but he doesn't score, because it's a little different. And painting points are a little different. Just make sure that you also read the first rule, the first page for our COVID regulations.
Yes.
And I think that's about it.
Yeah. So let's go over to Ninth Age.
Ninth Age. Well, actually, that's very funny because that's very hard for me to talk about, because that actually is not really our game. But I can actually look at it very quickly. I know a few things. It's going to be 4,500 points, which is normal for the Ninth Age.
Yeah.
The first game will start at 9:15. Registration is at 8:45.
Yeah.
So you have about half an hour, and we won't overlap that much with AOS. So that way it's easier for COVID to be. You will have a long lunch, meaning it's 1 hour and 50 minutes of lunch, to make sure that everyone with COVID and
will it still be the buffet?
It will still be the buffet, and then after that we'll have 2 rounds right back to back. The award ceremony will be at 7:30. So that's okay. So let's check. More rules spec talk. So. List submission will be the 6th of September, which is in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And it's going to be to Alliance Open T9A, the Ninth Age, at gmail.com. We still have 9 tickets left. Location is still at Van der Valk. Parking is still free, and everything else. So, your army roster is still worth 10 points, which will be this, and it can be sent into, I think, our Pompan as well, but I think we have to talk with Joris about that. So I'm just going to ask him. With a TO from. So I'm just going to ask him if he wants that. If he does not want that, you can just still send it to the same email address.
Alrighty.
Painting is worth 0 to 20 points. There is still a best painted competition, which will be online. So we'll take pictures. Yeah, because you cannot do like tables of armies and everyone walking around it. You cannot get.
That's a very good point. Yeah. So will it be for all the events, by the way?
Yep. Will be for all the events for 2020.
And we'll pick a winner online.
Yeah.
We could do that during one of our Friendly Fire Fridays.
Yeah. No, because we're actually gonna do the best painted during the event. So they'll get a link.
I thought it would be later.
Yeah. So they'll get a link during like second or third round. And they can go online.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. So people will still be able to actually vote during the event, but they have to look at the pictures.
And if the pictures are not good, you have to blame the photographer. There are actually no real like big differences. The one thing that we can say is that we built all the terrain very new, so it's going to be the standardized table layouts with the standardized measurements for all the terrain.
Okay.
So fields will be 6 by 4 inches or something, or 8 by 6. So everything will be standardized. So.
Yeah.
I actually had a question from Ignas through WhatsApp saying there's a few changes in the rule spec for AOS.
Okay.
Just let me know what you thought that was different while I was speaking about it than was in the rule spec, because it should be like this, and if it's not like this, there is like a
There might be an error in the
might be an
rule
error in the rule
spec.
spec,
Oh,
or it's
controversy.
simply is not the newest rule spec, because somehow the link does not always get refreshed, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So it somehow is some kind of all over the place. So please let us know. Send us a message, a personal message, or send us an email or whatever. Everything is possible.
Alrighty.
All right.
So let's scoot over to 40K.
40K. So we have two
Yeah.
rule specs to talk about, and we'll start with the no surrender, of course.
No surrender.
So when I say no surrender, what do you think when I say no surrender? What kind of rule spec do you expect?
What do I expect? Well, naturally, I'll expect the one. How do you say one? The one faction tournament. There you go.
One faction tournament, yeah.
I struggled, but I came there in the end.
Yeah, it came in. It was hard. It was hard. It was a hard struggle.
So it's one faction. Everybody in your detachment has to share the same keyword.
Sub keywords.
Sub keyword. There you go. And it basically means you play from one book.
Yep.
And we've been doing that a couple of years now,
Yeah, it was
and
2 years. Yeah.
I think it's like probably one of the most one of the tournaments that people appreciate the most. It's very fun.
It's a little less competitive, and the thing is
Yeah.
that we just started a new edition.
Yes.
So I think it's a bit easier to not abuse all the sick combos.
Yeah. Because soup is
usually
usually like for some armies anyway the most optimal.
Yep.
But the thing I like about this one is it's kind of pits like you play your army that you love, right? And normally you don't always do that because if you are allowed to soup,
Yep.
you will because it's more optimal. But now you're released from those shackles.
Yeah,
of-
so
of,
sometimes it gives you actually like the
optimization.
sometimes
Yeah.
people come with the list. It's like, okay, nobody ever thought of this because you did not have that
Exactly,
description. So-
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And so people play their own army books, and their own armies, and that's what I really like because people always have that one army they really love, and
Yep.
this is your chance to make them shine the way they shine when you play only that book or that faction.
Yeah, indeed. So, for your information, Saturday, the 29th of August, which will be next week Saturday, it's going to be, the rules spec will be finalized. There will be no changes except for maybe COVID-19 regulations.
Yeah.
Or some minor things, but not big things that will change the course of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be very good. The 5th of September will be the final cutoff date for new releases.
Okie dokie.
The 12th of September will be the deadline for army roasters in Panpan.
In Pun.
And it's going to be the cutoff date for erratas and FAQs. For erratas, not for FAQs, because an FAQ is an answer to a question, so FAQs will always be used. Erratas won't, because it's a change of the rules.
Yes.
And then the 26th is no surrender time.
No surrender.
So
So 3 rounds, right?
Yep. Registration is rather early this time. It's going to be 8:30 to 9, and at 9 we'll start run 1.
So Makres says, so it will be Salamanders, Death Guard, Harlequins, and Custodian games. Bring something else, and it won't be just that.
No, indeed, and
And I don't think it will be anyway.
no, and actually salamanders don't have their big range or
Because
famous already. So.
Because typically during these tournaments you actually see the most diversity in armies.
Yep.
Because this really means for people that they can bring the army that they love, and that's usually not the top competing
No,
armies.
no, indeed.
So you'll actually find a lot of variation. Makres.
Yeah. So when you think about it, there's not going to be, so it's going to be Death Guard only, and Death Guard only is good, but without an extra wound and everything, it's not like the most optimal Death Guard armies are
Usually have souped in demons, right?
Yeah, souped in demons or whatever. So it's going to be good, but not that good.
Well, like I said, I've played one No Surrender, and I've always streamed, and it's very diverse,
Yeah.
army-wise, always.
So
Yeah.
for more rules, Forge World is allowed as usual. No problems in Forge World over here.
Because you know, Forge World never has wonky rules.
No,
and
never.
stuff, right?
So legends are not allowed,
Yeah.
which is good in my opinion. So no Chaplain Dreadnoughts because they're out because they're in legends.
Amsterdam Battle Brothers says, haha, single faction Death Guard not that good? Hold my beer.
Okay, well we'll see. We'll see. I think it's Dino talking, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Smack talking, eh? Let's see
So-
if you walk the walk.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. So everything needs to be on your army list as usual because it's the new 9th edition, which is you have to put everything on your army list. So warlord, psychic powers, warlord traits, relics, any stratagems that need to be done pre-game, like giving you an extra power for your weird boy or something else, something like that needs to be on your army list, or
Yeah.
taking a chapter master or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, so army list checking will be rather easy because you just simply get one assigned by us, and then you have to check it on punpun.nl.
Yeah,
It's,
so
pretty
everybody
easy.
basically has to check another player's list.
Okay, so considering painting points, which is something, of course, with the new edition, you get 10 points if you are battle ready. For us, it's a little bit different. So you
Yeah,
can
we do
still
our
get
own.
score 90 points for each game, 45 for a primary,
9
45
times the points you get from Games Workshop.
Yeah, so 45 points for your primary, 45 points for your secondary, and then when you get over 20 points on a rubric, you get 500 points. It's a draw.
500 points?
So you get 520 points, and you can get to a maximum of 530 points. So if usually when you have WYSIWYG, you have squad markings, and everything is coherent, you usually are at around 16 points. Then you have to be painted into a base level, which is 2, detail base level, which is 2. Then you usually have some minor conversions and some basing. So I already at 24 points. 24 points easily.
Yeah.
So if you have a normal painted army, you're at 24, 25 points.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Really?
Don't
Yeah.
forget those squad markings. I'm looking at you, Mikey. He actually lost.
he?
Yeah, he would be third if he would have had squad markings
Oh, and he-
during our last GT.
Alright, see.
So yeah, he's a dick.
But,
So are there
Hey.
any other things? No, terrain will of course be preset. We'll make sure that no objectives will be on terrain, and that we can simply do that because we have standardized terrain and we have the following 3 missions, which will
Alrighty.
be
here we go.
Scorched Earth, mission 12,
Yes.
mission 22, Battle Lines, and mission 32, Sweep and Clear. Scorched Earth is the one with 6 objectives where you can burn them in the
Oh, yeah.
other person's deployment zone. You'll have Battle Lines, which is the Hammer and Anvil. So you have all 3 different kind of. So you have Dawn of War, Hammer and Anvil, and you have Search and Destroy, which
Uh-huh.
is Sweep and Clear.
Yeah.
Sweep and Clear is the mission where if you hold it until someone else captures
Hold
it.
it?
Until someone else captures it. These are all 3 missions where you have taken hold primaries, meaning you have to hold 1
Yeah.
for 5, hold 2 for 10, and hold more for 15.
Amsterdam Battle Brother asks, are you going to share the layout for the standard terrain tables?
Yeah, we'll have the terrain document ready this weekend, which will have 5 tables, which will be the standardized terrain for the top 10 or 20 tables. The rest will still be made sure that these will not be on the objectives, but those still will be cinematic terrain, thematic terrains like Cities of Death.
How many rounds is it again?
3, and we have only 16. So we have 32 tables.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have top 10 tables.
We'll
so
have
top 10,
the-
top 20 players will have standardized.
We'll have the standardized terrain,
Yeah.
okay.
And those are going to be 5 different layouts. So you
Mhm.
still
Yeah,
don't
so-
know which you're
Yeah,
playing
but
on.
you can check them out.
If you wonder how they look, just go to alliancearmory.net and you'll check all the different sets we have, like terrain sets for full tables.
Uh-huh.
Actually, the full layout is actually in there, so
Ah.
you know what tables that will be coming.
Alright, so you can already check them out,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. It may be a little early for the Necron and Aldari terrain sets because
They might still be revised a bit.
no, not revised, but I don't think we have them painted yet.
Oh, I see, so they
So
might not be on there.
probably mostly factory kits and Ruben kits.
Okay.
But I think CJ is online, so maybe he can actually help you with that.
He might respond. I
Yeah.
don't know if he's currently watching. But,
Okay, so I think that's about it for 40k. There's no. If you have any questions, please ask.
Sure.
We'll still have 3-hour games. Maybe after this tournament, we'll find out that 2 hours 45 is enough, and we'll maybe have to revise our timetable for the ITC Super Major. Maybe we can scooch in an extra game on the Saturday.
Yep. Sneak that in.
Prizes will be first, second, third, best army on show, and best sportsmanship, as always.
Coolio.
So best infection will probably be will only be at GT levels, so not at RTT levels, because it's going to be.
Okay.
It's because everyone will pick a faction that nobody plays to get best infection.
That's right. Yeah, well, I mean, but that's their prerogative. Right?
Yeah, so we'll talk about it, but there probably will not be best infection.
All right, dang it.
Okay, so there's one big change for the Hanseatic Open, and that there's 2 missions extra, and that's it.
2 missions extra.
Because it'll be 5 games.
Ooh, 5 games.
And that's about it. So
more bang for your buck.
I can actually tell you which one they are.
Okay. Please do.
And well, why am I here? Why am I not?
Why are you here? Why are we here? Why are we here?
Rules packs, Hanseatic Open. Do
a little dance again.
Yeah, I just have to look through the document, and the document will have mission 13, vital intelligence, and mission 31, overrun, of the GT mission pack.
Okay.
Which will be the 2 missions which have dominate as their dominate as their primary, meaning you have to get 2 for 5 points, 3 for 10 points, and more for 15 points for the primary.
Yeah.
So day 1 will actually be only take and hold 1, 2, and more for 5 points, and the second day it will be only dominate, which will be 2, 3, and more for the 5.
Okay.
So you'll see a difference in army list simply because of that. Because if you want to get those primary mission on the second day, you probably need enough units to get
bodies.
those.
Yeah, you need
bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the big That's the big and only difference of the rules pack.
All right.
And one thing, of course, is that we'll have best infection.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Because it's GT.
Yeah.
Actually, that's it.
Okay.
I mean,
there's
not much more to talk about.
Well, let's check off the list.
Yeah, for the rules packs, of course.
Yeah. No, we actually already talked about everything really we want to talk about. So there's only one thing left to do.
There's only one thing left
Let
to
me
do.
cue it up. Just check because for some reason I'm going to left. Turn you off, and then we go into
Rats of Fury.
Even zo doen als
just a sec, guys. That's what I was afraid of. Your camera's being a little wonky.
Is it wonky?
Yeah. Well, we're almost there.
It's the disturbance for the rant.
Yeah. Wait. Is it going on? There you go. You're here.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's time for the rant of fury. This is the chamber of confessions, and it is here that you will repent. Know that I am without mercy or remorse, and that there can be no salvation without suffering. Now we begin. Tell me everything. Meet Asmodai, Master Interrogated Chaplain, Master of Repentance, and Interrogated Chaplain, Boss of, I don't know. Among all chaplains in the galaxy, he is the most sinister and darkest of them all. He has so much dedication in hunting the fallen, even other Dark Angels shiver when hearing his name. To give you an idea why, let me cite this anecdote. Azrael did not take kindly to this and, in rebuke, withdrew the chaplain's command status for 3 standard years, sentencing him to serve under the Master of Recruits in the 10th Company so that he might learn some humility. The punishment lasted only 6 solar months, ending when the captain of the 10th Company revealed that Asmodai had demanded the execution of every scout drawn from the world of Narcium, accusing a whole generation of being gene-tainted due to their tardiness in answering his questions during instructions. It was also Asmodai who, upon hearing the frivolity of laughter in the halls of the rock, placed the penance of silence upon the 7th Company for a standard Terran year. The company was unable to utter a sound save for hymnals and in-battle communication. However, such ardent discipline has its uses. Like any Adeptus Unitatis chaplain, Asmodai chants the liturgies of battle, preaching the purity of hate to help each Dark Angel focus his rage and becoming a killing machine. In combat, Asmodai further exemplifies his zeal, inciting the fighting spirits of his battle brothers to a fever pitch. It was Asmodai who led the forlorn hope to break into the Trader of Runes palace and who inspired the impressive stand when his forces were isolated on the demon world of Amity. Impressive, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's the light of the party.
So when reading this for the first time, like 6 or 7 years ago, when I started playing Warhammer 40k, there was excitement to play him on the battlefield. Chaplains weren't that good during that edition, but still, there was always the wish to put him in one of my armies. With chaplains getting a huge boost in 8th edition with their litanies, this was the moment to let this guy shine. After the segment, you'll understand why they completely missed their mark when they written his rules. Let me give you a summary of his stats and rules. His stat line is exactly the same as a normal interrogated chaplain, like above. With 6-inch move, a weapon skill of 2+, a ballistic skill of 3+, like above. Strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3+ save. He is not like not the light of the party.
No, he's the same.
So no boost there. Next to that, he has a bolt pistol. Whoop-de motherfucking do. Frag and crack grenade.
Oh, getting saucy.
A Crozius Arcanum, like every other normal chaplain.
Yeah.
And the Blades of Reason.
The Blades of Reason.
Will it make you shiver? Well, no, not really. With Strength User, Strength 4, no AP, and damage D6, he looks dangerous. But considering you usually want AP in combat, making the Crozier Arcanum usually better against small arms.
Yeah.
So if I can choose between the Blade of Reason or a normal Crozius Arcanum, like everybody used, is like, okay, let's use this, and let's just put this over here.
Blades of Reason.
And grab my bolt pistol, because my bolt pistol is... No, okay. Yeah. So I think that speaks for itself. There is no real way to boost his weapon, so that's a big nah. Maybe in Assault Doctrine, but that means you'll have to wait till turn 3 to make him work. So maybe there is something in his special rules? Maybe?
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Let's check it out. He has 5 of them. Inner Circle, Exemplar of Hate, Rosarius, Aura of Dread, and Spiritual Leaders. Next to that, he has 2 litanies to choose from next to having Litany of Hate, which is rerolling to hit in combat. But you have to still recite those litanies. He has only 1 unique ability, Exemplar of Hate, giving 1 attack to all infantry and biker units. So if my epic big ass dreadnought is next to it, it's like, hey, Asmodai, yeah, okay, you're not that
inspiring.
Yeah, you're not that inspiring. Seems like a big boost, but with 6-inch move, no way to get there earlier with something else. The only way you can get them in is with a drop pod, meaning a drop pod.
Yeah.
Enough said, right?
Yeah.
So, and it gives you +1 attack, which is good on Deathwing Terminators or on Ravenwing Bikers. But hey, I think we have something rare because we have banners, and banners always give you +1 attack in Dark Angels. So,
you could stack it.
Kind of missed the mark over there. Luckily, it's on a unit and not on a model basis, so you can actually string it, which is a small plus next to the few minuses. The litanies, of course, are very good, but he only knows 2 extra, but he cannot recite 1 extra.
No.
Like every chaplain you take for a normal Space Marine chapter, like if I take a Master of Sanctity stratagem on my epic normal chaplain with my Ultramarines, I can actually do 2, and if I take the right Warlord trait, I can actually re-roll it. I think there's something missing here that could be...
Yeah.
And right now you cannot, in 9th edition, you cannot re-roll those. So you kind of want to make sure that you get those litanies off, but there is no real way in Dark Angels to get those. So that's a bigger map. Now we have 4... multiple maps. So we have 4 special rules left. Inner Circle, which every Deathwing has, says this unit automatically passes morale. I'm alone, so
Yeah.
I don't really give a rat's furry
But I
ass
mean-
about morale. So
But I mean, he's really fearless.
that's
Really fearless.
yeah, it's really fearless. And as the master of interrogation and everything, he should be. And then in addition, you can reroll filled hit rolls. Reroll filled. That sounds good. For attacks by this unit that target a fallen unit.
A fallen. What's fallen unit?
That's like a special unit you can take within the Chaos Space Marine Codex, which no one uses because the only thing you'll get is +1 attack.
All right. But watch out if you do.
Watch out if you bring those fallen. You get you get a whoa, you get a whoop and reroll.
Got an ace up my sleeve. Ask me die, bitch.
Yeah, woohoo! So yeah, another man. That's like the man.
Yeah, we
a triple man.
I'm starting to notice a trend.
Yeah, and then it says in the fluff, and I can actually put it here. I'm just gonna read
Bring
it.
the fluff in.
I'm just gonna read it out because he has like an epic Rosarius. It actually says it has a very good Rosarius, which has not the Arcanum, the other one. He has black pearls. I mean,
Black pearls.
interrogated chaplains in the Dark Ages. When you interrogate someone and make him repent, you get a black pearl. There's only ever been one interrogated chaplain who got 10 pearls, and and he lived for 300 years.
Yeah.
He got 3 of them, or 4 of them. So that makes him a real badass, because he made 3 fallen repent for his sins. Meaning, if you admit you are a fallen, it's like, okay, you're dead. That's it.
Yeah. I see.
But he actually has an angel of protection on there, thinking, okay, now I have a better invul save, or I have a feel no pain, or whatever. But he simply has a normal Rosarius giving him a 4-up invul save.
Yeah. That's yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a special character. He doesn't need anything special.
No, not at all, not at all. Then next to that, he has the Aura of Dread. And let me read it aloud. Units within 6 inch of any interrogated chaplain must subtract 1 from their leadership characteristic. Brutal. Especially now with those new morale rules, it's
Yeah.
gonna be epic.
Nobody gives a
It's gonna
shit.
be more epic. He is the interrogator chaplain
Yeah.
of the interrogator. He's the biggest boss.
Yeah.
Like we had last.
Yep.
We had the biggest boss.
The biggest balls.
Why wouldn't they just give him like -3 leadership, or say, okay, you automatically fill your leadership or whatever? I don't know what, but just make it like, or an extra model runs away or something else like normal interrogated chaplains. So, yeah, that's
Yep.
I think that's my 6th man.
It's a lot of mass already.
Shall we do a man count next
Man.
Rants of Fury? So it's gonna count the mass.
Yeah. Count the mass, folks.
Yeah, okay. So, and then last one is spiritual leaders. All friendly Dark Angels units within 6 of Asmodai can use his leadership. Sounds good. Sounds good-ish. He has leadership 9.
Yeah.
Usually you keep your sergeant as the last model to keep alive. So
Yeah.
he has leadership 8.
So one more.
So 1 more. And then next to that, I'm a Dark Angel. So if I lose, I can only lose 1 model to morale. Not more. So if I fail my leadership test, I lose 1 and I don't have to roll for the rest.
Yep.
So I think that's my 8th man.
Yep. Collecting the mass.
So
The mass are like our beads or our black pearls.
he has more mass than his power level.
Yeah.
So he has a power level of 7,
Yeah.
which doesn't mean anything yet.
No.
But he at 115 points, he's 30 points more than a normal interrogated chaplain,
Yeah.
and he does not get 30 points more. So the only way I think that he is playable, which I actually thought about in 9th edition, is put him in a drop pod together with Azrael and Ezekiel. So you have like
super buddies.
you have like the biggest bounces,
Super.
and you just
The super mass.
you just shove them into someone's face. But that's like 500 points of special characters.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds solid.
Yeah. So yeah.
Superman. In conclusion, man.
Ma.
Yeah.
Like Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
right? My poker
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So one thing that when they release new stuff, what should they do about Asmodai to make him good? Please, the Blades of Reason usually had in 6th or 7th edition, he actually had insta kill or instant death without AP.
Yes.
And if you have a Blade of Reason, let him give some AP. I mean, if you look at if you
Are
look
they
at the
power
picture, if you look at the picture, it's like.
Well, he's
I
not
don't know.
holding. He's not really. To be fair, he doesn't. He's not. He doesn't seem to be holding any blades in the picture.
No,
Unless
it's next to. It's like a small. It's like only a blade is only this big, so
Yeah.
that's very small for a Space Marine.
Yeah.
But it has the oath of duty inscribed in old Caliban tongue. He has a mercy switch to bring oblivion to the repentant.
the mercy switch, which turns it on.
Yeah, so if then he touches,
Maybe he
gets
never.
a kill.
Maybe because he never shows mercy. He never turns his blade on.
Yeah, so he doesn't just.
So he just fights
he
with
just
power
doesn't know how it
sword.
works.
Yeah, he fights with a power sword, but doesn't know how to turn it on. Like, "Ah, repent! It's not working.
So yeah, that's Asmodai. Compared to normal interrogated chaplains, I would take an interrogated chaplain always, simply because you can still know two what's it called, the litanies. You only
Yeah.
need two because you don't need three, never.
Yeah.
You can actually give him a power fist or power maul with better weapons. You can give him a combi weapon. You can do something with him that is at least a little bit better.
Yeah.
You can give him a jump back.
Yeah.
If you give Asmodai a jump back, okay, then he's good. Because with 6 move,
I mean, is he though?
yeah, because then he doubles his move. The problem is that you have to keep up with the Deathwing and the Ravenwing. That's the thing. You cannot get there in time because you.
No, he's just running there.
Yeah,
like,
that's why you
"Hey!"
need a drop bot or a Rhino or whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay, so yeah,
It's sad though, because
this was not. It was a rant, but it was not a rant. It was like a meh.
you have to practice the fury part.
Yeah, the fury part. And
But do your screech of fury now. It's your turn. Impressive. All right, let's go back to our.
Let's end this stuff because we need to.
Yep. All right, we are back. So
I'm kind of lightheaded.
yeah, I mean, so we talked about a lot of stuff, and we talked about everything that's on our little list.
Yeah. We had like 12 people watching, which make us very happy. And competitive wargaming just joined the gang. What up? What up? Good to have you here. We actually talked a lot about a lot of stuff. Please make sure that you check out the rest of the stuff later.
Yeah, we'll be putting it on
yeah.
YouTube's.
Yeah. So, a few things to finalize this stuff.
Yeah.
First of all, today is the last chance to pre-order.
Yep. Last
To
chances,
pre-order-
folks.
Yeah, to pre-order our newest terrain. If you get over 100 euros, you get a free T-shirt. The table resize.
You get a free Asmodai.
you get a free Asmodai.
Yep.
I think the table resize are the biggest hit. I think we sold over 25 of them.
Yeah.
So those are the biggest hits because everyone with a game mat or another mat says, okay, I just need to have this. If you want to buy them and just want to make sure that you have them, make sure to choose pickup at event when you come to our events. Next to that, we had our first terrain talk.
Yeah.
Maybe next week we can actually talk with maybe CJ about how he builds
Yeah.
his MDF terrain, or maybe I'll just discuss some more stuff on how we spray paint our terrain because we usually do a lot of spray painting. And well, I think it was a very good episode.
It was a good one. Another one in the books.
I think. Do you think this was the most solid to date?
Yeah, I think it was the most smoothest one as well.
Yeah. So we'll
Smooth.
let's give each other a
Let's give
bump
it a little
over here.
bro-
Let's give each
bro
other a
bump.
bump over here.
Like,
Bro bump. If you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, feel free to talk to us. Ah, I heard my name. CJ heard his name.
Yeah.
What did he need to? Yeah, you maybe want to tell everyone how you build your MDF.
Yes.
Because Stefan knows, and I know when we do it and we give it back to you, it's like, why is this wrong, or why is this not the way it should be, or how can you even do this, or whatever. Well, you be the teacher.
Yes, you'll be our sensei.
With wood glue, yeah. Thank you, CJ. I mean,
CJ Sensei.
we know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, that's that. No need to put it in next week then. CJ just told us how to do it. Like one go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, we wrap it up.
All right.
We've had a blast.
Yeah.
Next week it's gonna be a little talk with Agnes probably.
I
Probably
hope so.
pre-recorded because not everybody can be around at this time.
No, that's fine.
Is there more?
Uh,
We'll talk about the terrain document. We'll talk about the new regulations from Amsterdam. And for those watching now and just dropped in, remember all our events from now until a vaccine is released will probably be mandatory face masks.
yes.
Let's end with that.
All right. So everybody, thanks for watching. We hope you had fun, and we'll see you guys next week. Wave to the camera. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye bye.